Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. The Bells are back, y'all. We are back with a brand new review and season of the Belle Collective Season 3, Episode 1. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, we see Latrice, honey, looking like a bag of money. When I tell you Latrice was looking good in this scene, I said, okay, girl, I see the boobies getting a little extra screen time. So she said that they just closed on a commercial property and Goddess Lengths is still reigning supreme. So we learned that one of Cliff's kids moved down to Mississippi and they're staying on their property. They're still talking about Latrice being pregnant. The grandkids are visiting. She's like, I don't really just like kids like that, but I like these kids. So she cool with that. So she tells us, about the Jackson water crisis and how people can't drink or even take a bath with the water. And you know what? This water crisis is becoming increasingly common in different cities. That's why I only use bottled water to cook, because every time I turn around, we have a boil water notice. Every single time I turn around. And then the crazy part about it is they don't even tell you that we have this notice. I just open up Google and here's the city of Houston talking about boil your water until 10 p.m. Well, honey, I done already used this. I done brushed my teeth with this water. I have cooked with this water. And yet you're just now notifying me. Well, I'm notifying my damn self. So I really do feel for the people in Jackson because that's tough. So anyway, she said that she doesn't live in Jackson, so she's not affected because she lives on the outskirts. But her employees, they do live in Jackson. So she invited over Joshi. Now, Joshi is the store manager over at the Goddess Lengths. She invited him to live with her until everything gets fixed. Don't get me wrong. This was a very sweet gesture. Very nice of her. It really was, because you just never know what people are in need of. It's very sweet, but there is no way that I would have him staying in the house with me and my man. Absolutely not. He a little too opinionated where he don't need to be. He don't pay no bills, but I'm happy she's helping the staff and whatnot, but he just couldn't stay, honey. So he comes in and she's telling him that she's about to cook for Cliff. So he's wondering why the woman always got to cook, got to clean, and don't smell like onion rings. And so Cliff is like, in this society, this is the way it is. I fund the meals and then she cooks them. He said, well, I don't know what society that is. I don't live in that one. So Latrice said, I do. That's what happens when you marry an old school man. You can sleep in separate rooms and they still gonna crawl in that room and read you a scripture and tell you your body belongs to them. I do not want to read no kind of scripture that got anything to do with Cliff, honey. Not first Corinthians chapter 1, verse 3, honey. Absolutely not. So Joshi is saying in the confessional that living with them is kind of comical because Cliff is like an old grumpy man, and whatever he says that bothers him and that turns him on. Yeah, you got to go, because you don't even need to be saying nothing about my man turns you on. That don't even make no sense to me. Okay? We are not here for your enjoyment. Well, goodbye. Moving forward. So Cliff is saying that Josh is, causing problems in their marriage. Josh is like, nah, these problems were already here. I mean, this is true, but you are now multiplying said problems. So you need to go. Okay, yes, the problems were already there, but you adding problems on top of problems. Latrice is like, it's a Southern thing. And as a Southern woman, you got to let your husband be the husband. So Cliff wants Joshi to get out of the house because he's being disrespectful. Josh is going at it with Cliff, but truth be told, I'm gonna have to go with Cliff on this one. Y'all's marriage is already rocky. You don't need Josh and all that extra. And that is that man's house. You would have to leave. Like, there's no question about it. I don't know where you gonna go. I'll put you up in a hotel, but you would have to go. You just would have to go. So Latrice is saying, the worst part is Josh is so opinionated and he needs to speak whatever he's spoken to. So Cliff gets up and he leaves because Joshi is pissing him off. So he leaves and goes one way and Latrice goes in the other room. Here comes Josh. He's like, yeah, I see you still in this little cubby. She said, well, if I'm not feeling the vibe, then I'm gonna have to distance myself. She said they are currently in separate bedrooms because the marriage isn't where she wants it to be. Oh, well, honey, that is definitely all the more reason for Josh to leave. That's mess on top of stress. Latrice, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. You have been running since season 2. Okay, since last season, you have been running. You went to your brother's house to get away from Cliff for a little bit. You need to evaluate whether or not you really want to be in this marriage. And I feel that y'all need counseling. Now, for me, I feel like Cliff is one of those guys, those old school hard heads that are set in their ways and it's going to be like, nah, I ain't doing that. Everybody do no counseling. Everybody got to do no counseling. You know how he be mumbling and whatnot. He be mumbling and whatnot. But he ain't going to want to do the counseling, but he really should. Because it just don't make no sense. And Josh feels like Cliff controls Latrice. He is controlling. We have seen this from him since season 1. She cannot even go anywhere by herself because it's going to be a problem. And that's crazy. So she was like, I just really love hard. So I just put my family and my friends above me. That's not wise. Even on an airplane, they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first. How you gonna save somebody else before you save yourself? So Josh is asking her, what about you? Like, how do you feel about you? What about your own needs? And she was like, I'm good. I'm strong, but I'm not happy. Oh, Latrice, you just crying. Girl, you got to figure this thing out. Now, I know it's not easy. It's easier said than done, especially when you're on the outside looking in. Everybody can offer their unsolicited advice and tell you how you should move and when you should move and what you should do. But just a word of advice from someone just a little bit older, honey, not that much, okay? But just a little bit older and someone that's been through things like this. Girl, you gonna have to move around if Cliff can't get himself together. Because right now he is not honoring you. And you need to get your happy back. Moving forward. Child, in the next scene, we see Miss Letitia Pearson. She's on the scene at the Enterprise and whatnot. Y'all know Letitia got 11 jobs. So she moved back in with Glenn. This is what she's telling us. After the reunion, she moved back in with Glenn. She gave him a second chance. And then he started messaging girls on Instagram again. See, that's how they do. They get you back. They act right for like 2 weeks. Then they back on their BS. There is no way you should have even given him another chance. Like, the ink on the paternity test ain't even cool yet. Absolutely not. And he know you ain't going nowhere. So then we see Glenn and his mall kiosk jewelry. Because, honey, we know they ain't gonna wear that big old piece and chain with that name on it. Child, you ain't got no money like that. Anywho, Glenn and his mall kiosk jewelry, they meeting up with Letitia to pick up their son, right? Because she's going to pick up the son. They're doing an exchange. Glenn, being the basic F-boy that he is, talking out the side of his neck, talking about he love his daddy. I wish you loved his daddy like he do. Boy, gone. So she's telling him, she moved back in with her mama because he made all those promises and he ain't following through with them. I'm getting a little tired of your broken promises. Child, shout out to 3LW. You ain't doing nothing but lying. He's like, well, you want me to delete all my social media? No, Keep your social media. And you know why? Because you just gonna get a secret one. You ain't fooling me. You gonna get a faceless, no post having Instagram and still gonna be lurking and following up in people's DMs and telling them to meet you over there on the real one. You ain't fooling me. Absolutely not. They will get 2 phones. They will say that they're gonna change their phone numbers. All of that. Glenn is a textbook F-boy. They all read from the same book. So no. Keep your social media, keep your same phone number, keep that same energy. So she's telling him that he does things that makes him feel better. She's like, I can't teach him how to be a husband. So in the confessional, she was like, you don't see women of my caliber responding back to the village. Well, you might not be responding back to the village people, honey, but he down at the YMCA trying to find all the fat pockets he can find. Letitia, now don't get me wrong, honey. I love your confidence. I love it. If anybody on the scene got confidence, it's Marie Monroe and Letitia. Baby, Letitia has this Enterprise. Baby, I don't know exactly what's under the Enterprise. I really am confused. But Letitia got that confidence, and so does Marie Monroe. Actually, all of the ladies, let's just really break it down. You better not tell Latrice she ain't fine. You better not tell Latrice daddy ain't fine. And you better not tell her Goddess Length ain't doing what Goddess Length's supposed to do. Okay? Akeisha, you cannot tell her that she is not the founder, creator, director, producer, and everything of Fair Street. You can't tell Marie Monroe that she is not all that in a bag of chips hopping out that utility van down at the methadone clinic. And you definitely cannot tell Letitia that she ain't got something going on down at that Enterprise. And let's not get started on Tamra Sharon. Oh, Lord, honey. This cast of ladies has a confidence that's unmatched, honey. You will not find this confidence on any other reality show. Name one. Quickly. Okay, y'all ain't got one. Moving forward. So anywho, that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. So he's telling her that nobody has to teach him nothing. He's like, I'm an 80-20 guy. If you can deal with the 20, you gonna love the 80. I cannot stand to hear Glenn speak. Don't nobody want your dusty 20 looking like you drink 40s. Don't nobody want it. Okay? We don't give a damn. Either treat her right or move the hell on. Really and truly, he only sticking around because her star is rising. Let's just be for real. When we first were introduced to Letitia and Glenn, he came home working offshore. Really, I don't think he was at work, child. I think he was waiting for the camera to get inside, and he came ringing the doorbell to my son, throwing the baby all up in the air and whatnot. Letitia had that wig cocked to the side. It was synthetic. It was coming out for aisle AB at the hair store, and we were fine with that. But now that Letitia is really doing it for herself, and we see the star that she is and the star that she's becoming each and every day, so she's telling him that she moved back to her mama's house because of his actions. Girl, listen. Don't tell him nothing. He already knows why you moved back to your mama house. And why do you keep moving back to your mama house? Go get you a place with a lease and show him. Show him better than you can tell him. He knows that you're not leaving. And when you do leave, you're going straight to that mama house. That lease is a decision that you can't get out of until it's up. Okay? Because once that lease is up, then at that point, y'all can talk about something. Because right now, Glenn is not taking you seriously. So then he gonna say, well, I mean, you keep changing your mind. You keep jumping in, then jumping out. No. If you act like you have some damn sense, then she would be fine. She's like, I just really regret having sex with you after the reunion. He's like, you regret your husband? Yes, you're nasty. So he said, you made me use a condom. As you should. Who knows what you bringing back home? You already halfway brought home a baby. She sure don't need no diseases. You would have to present me with a full STD panel. Now that's just me. Because it ain't no way I'm laying down with you in your piece and chain, not knowing where you been laying. Because you can't be trusted. He's like, I may as well be paying for it, leaving $40 on the counter. This greasy dude said that she made him feel like she was a pro and he was a trick. I really don't think you have enough money to even be one. And even if that were the case, the fact that you only want to cough up $40 tells me all I need to know about you. Moving forward. Side note. Although I don't like Glenn, okay, at all, I see Glenn have been taking notes from Hotel over there on Love and Marriage Huntsville on them suits. Because he was dressed really nicely in that suit, I have to say. I was like, okay, that's a nice looking suit. Okay, I see you. In the next scene, we catch up with So Gucci. Hey, girl. She said since the reunion, she's been selling more houses and her daughter moved out, after having her daughter. And Star is pregnant now. So they have more things in common. They have things that they can talk about now. So, child, then we see JJ playing Naked Chef. He is putting together a sexy romantic dinner. Listen to me. I am about to boycott on if I ever see JJ's chesticles ever again. Okay, it was giving gross. Okay, it was a cute gesture, but I do not want to see JJ with his chest out in that apron. I don't want to see it. So Sophia comes home from work and she's like, what is going on in here? Honey, I'm asking the same exact thing. He's happy to be an empty nester because, they can roam free, honey. He can be free and let it all hang out. So Sophia went in there to change so she could match his fly. He really wasn't doing that much, honey, but she went in there and changed. Baby Sophia knows she got a body on her. Now, I know that she did say that she's a personal trainer and she works out a lot and everything. And I can definitely tell because she was looking good. Okay. The Bells are a beautiful cast of women. They really are. Moving forward. So they sit down, they start eating dinner, and she was like, why did you cook for me? He said, because, I just want to, do something nice for you. I love you. And my mama wants to move in. Everybody on this show is getting a little house guest. I don't like it. Unless you got a mother-in-law suite, the answer would be no. Okay, it would be a hell no. Too many grown people together under one roof. It's always going to be an issue. Everybody's going to want to run the household. That's not going to work. And she was pissed. She was like, whatever you thought you was getting tonight, you ain't getting it. So let me go on about my business and go on in this room. So baby, she went on there and closed the door. In the next scene, we catch up with Tambria and her lower octave. Okay, because she's taken out some bundles and she's brought that voice down a notch. So she's still living with demand. And she said it's different because she's not used to living with a person. So he walks in and gives her a side hug. Now, this is what I'm not finna do. I'm not finna have them play in my face. The way that man walked in and gave her that side hug, he don't bit more look like he live there, and they don't a bit more look like they live together than the man in the moon. Okay? So they start talking. They sit on the couch. They start talking and she tells him that she wants her own spot. He said, well, we ain't even had sex in 2 months. Say what now? Y'all been living together and the equivalent of you living together, y'all have not had sex? Like, where they do that at? Girl, what? So she feels like you don't have to do that every day if you live together. Okay, not every day, but 2 whole months? Girl. She was like, yeah, I really just want a ring from him. He's like, so if we married, are you just gonna run off? She said, no, but now I'm realizing that, he may not be the best husband. He might be a good father, but he may not be the best husband. You think? Girl, they tried to warn you last season. Truth be told, I don't think y'all live together now. Okay, that man was still wearing his J's in the house with his legs crossed. I do not believe that y'all live together, and I don't believe that this is a real relationship, allegedly. Now, it might be something, but it's giving made for TV. Okay, you knew Damon wasn't it last season. You just wanted to prove the ladies wrong. So he's sitting there discrediting her career, saying all she does is sit. Sir, she is working. No matter if she sits, stands, or stands on one of her legs, or stands on one of her head, or stands on her damn head all day, she's still working. Plus, you want breakfast in bed, home cooked meals, head, bread. You want all kinds of stuff and no commitment. And boy, anyway, nobody got time to be playing with you, honey. Go on back to the lady that had the emotional connection, because you playing games. In the next scene, Akeisha is back and she's catching us up on Ferris Street, still playing into her villain era. So she was like, yeah, my investors are going to bring 10 to 12 restaurants down on Ferris Street because they have the coins, unlike other people. Now, was that really necessary? You done took over the project. You're going to bring good things down to Ferris Street. We ain't seen nothing yet. I ain't seen you break no ground yet. So until we really get into it, honey, you just talking like Latrice was down there talking. So she tells us that Willie isn't there. He's actually back in New York because he's working. Well, Willie didn't really want to be there anyway. He didn't really like it. So that's the perfect excuse for him not to have to come down to Mississippi, honey, because he ain't really like it no way. So then Sophia comes over to visit and they sit down and they talk. And Akeisha is saying that, she never thought that they would be friends, especially after the brunch, because she was thinking to herself, what kind of grown woman calls herself so Gucci? Now, I have to admit this, full transparency. I thought the exact same thing. I was like, why is this grown woman at this big grown age calling herself so Gucci? But then after seeing her in an interview, I was like, you know what? She is actually very layered. It's more to her than a name. And she seems like a real cool lady that you can really just talk to and, have a kiki with. So they started talking and Sophia was asking her about Tambria. So Akeisha goes, well, I don't know. Okay, because I didn't know that she was a liar. She lied about me saying that the girls were ugly, and she lied about me getting on the show. So Gucci thinks that they should talk, but Kiki is like, hell no, I'm good. I ain't talking to her. I'm good. She really don't want to be bothered with me, and I really don't want to be bothered with her. Akeisha feels like she's mad with the wrong person because Letitia is the one that brought the drama to her relationship and the mess, but then she's at the reunion coddling her, but being rude to Akeisha. Like, where they do that at? She feels like it's nothing but fakeness. She's like, I cannot take Tambria being so fake. Well, I mean, I'm still not sold that you didn't call the ladies ugly. Didn't we establish at the reunion that you called them ugly? So what are you saying, girl? I mean, you might not have said the word ugly, but you implied that they were not as good looking as they could have been. Like, they could have picked a better looking cast of women. Now, Tambria does give putting on airs. Now she does give I put on for my city. We don't even know what her real voice sounds like. I mean, we heard a little bit of it when y'all pissed her off last season, but of course Tambria is fake. Come on now. I'm glad her and Sophia are friends, and it's making Akeisha a little bit more likable, so we'll be all right. In the next scene, Letitia goes to meet So Gucci to look at a place. Marie Monroe is coming, baby. There you go, Marie. I was looking for Marie. I said, where's Marie? Baby, Marie done showed up. She done got rid of that utility van, and she is looking cute. Do you hear me? So she's telling us all the things that she has going on, all things Marie Monroe and Zuri Marie shoes, clothes, toothbrushes, honey. She got all kinds of stuff. Find it down at the local Walmart. Child, she got it all down at the local Walmart in addition to the methadone clinic. So she's telling us that she came to help Letitia pick out a place. Now, really and truly, Letitia, you in this place playing around, girl. You do not need nobody to help you find a place. You find one, you think it's cute, and you sign on the dotted line. But I know y'all got to make a scene. So Sophia is showing them around. Now, me personally, this place is too drab. It gives sadness. I don't like the colors. It's uninviting. And, a white refrigerator. Oh, honey, put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home. Not a white refrigerator. Ooh, child, the ghetto. Honey, absolutely not. I was looking at this place. I was like, nah, Sophia, no wonder Latrice went and found somebody else to help her out now. You can't be taking people to places that look like this. I just did not like that place. The carpet was old and it didn't look good. The lighting was poor. It was just bad. So Sophia is telling them that Latrice had her showing her places and she went behind her back and signed with somebody else. So she was like, listen, don't have me showing you all these places. Then you put a knife in my back like Latrice did. So Marie was like, didn't I tell you? I told you she a snake. You don't know which way she going. You don't know. I told you at the reunion. So Sophia said, yeah, you know what? I'm starting to believe that what Marie said is right. Now, at first I didn't believe it because she was my girl and it didn't happen to me. But I'm really starting to think that Latrice might be a snake. Marie, I thought y'all were good. I'm so confused, girl. I thought y'all were on good terms. So why are you even saying that? So then Marie asked Letitia if she's having sex with Glenn. Of course she is. She claims she only did it after the reunion. Girl, play with somebody else. You know good and well you and Glendale still rolling around. And I know Sophia is upset, but unless you had a contract in place, you were just wasting time showing her places. Now, I do feel Latrice should have made Sophia, the first priority if she was going to close on a place since they are friends. But later on in the episode, we find out exactly why she closed with somebody else. So, I mean, it's just business. In the next scene, Latrice is down to the goddess lengths and she's telling Joshi that Gucci told her that she had the building and then come to find out she didn't have the building. Okay, so that's what happened. Girl, anybody got time to play? Latrice was on a time crunch and she was moving too slow. So she found somebody else to do it. And now she's going to be moving into her building in like 6 months. So the producer asked her if she thought Gucci dropped the ball as the #1 realtor in Jackson. Latrice said, child, I gave her that name. But anywho, business is business. And she really only showed me one place. So Latrice and Joshi are having a talk, right? And he's asking her where he's going to be in the new building. Is he going to be upstairs with the stylist or is he going to be downstairs? So she was like, you're going to be downstairs. So they start arguing back and forth. She told him that he doesn't respect her or her husband. So he starts going on and on about how Cliff ain't as fine as he think he is. He can't talk. She ain't happy. Now listen, he ain't wrong. Okay, he ain't wrong in his assessment that Cliff is very controlling and that you are not happy. He is not wrong, but he oversteps and he's disrespectful. Whether or not we on good terms or not, you will not sit and talk down on my husband. That ain't gonna never be okay. Like, he shouldn't even be so involved in your marital business, period. Because now he's feeling entitled. Now, I'm happy that you helping him and whatnot, but he getting a little bit beside himself. And he feels like, Cliff wants him to leave to keep him out of their business. He's like, y'all don't want people to know what's going on behind those big walls of y'all's. Well, duh, because it's not everybody's business. And again, you need to go. So in the last scene, Latrice is down at the bar with her friend, right? And here come Cliff. He cussing, telling her that she need to ask permission. Ask permission? Baby, when he said that, I said, okay, I am officially almost on Joshy's side. Just a little bit, okay? Because ask for permission? He's like, why you ain't tell me ahead of time? So she kind of trying to explain herself. So he's in her face telling her that they need to go talk. He's like, we need to go goddamn talk. You need to get on mic. They go outside and he going off. Okay, he is going off. So Latrice is like, in her confessional, Cliff is the perfect man and I wouldn't want to be married to anyone else, but he is controlling and sometimes he treats me like I'm his daughter. Ain't nothing perfect about this bumbling idiot and the way he is treating you. Nothing is perfect about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say maybe you might see this. Nothing is perfect about that. Nothing. So he outside ripping her mic off, cussing all in her face, calling her out her name, pointing his fingers in her face, grabbing her arm, throwing the mic down on the ground. I'm like, what is happening? Oh, baby, he will be by himself. Latrice, now listen, honey, I'm speaking directly to you. We need to do the therapy, okay? So that you can work through these daddy issues, because you do not deserve to be talked to and treated like that. And she even said, I felt so embarrassed and I felt mistreated. That's not the way you should be feeling in your relationship. And I'm not sure why he treats you like that. Mushmouth will be standing there mumbling to his damn self. And yeah, and say, what now? Charlotte would have been right back inside. That is crazy. He talking about, yeah, I'm just trying to protect our marriage and see what she don't. I don't want to hear it. It would never work for me. Knowing what I know now, having gone through certain situations, and even just looking at this, the fact that he wanted to make sure that nobody could hear exactly what he was saying to you, calling you all kinds of bees, that's unacceptable. And that was the end of the episode. The first episode was real cute, but honey, I don't know if Cliff lost his damn mind or what. I was like, Cliff, not you. Now, I mean, you are good for a good laugh and a good kiki, but you cannot be treating your wife like this. This is crazy. And I feel like Letitia and Glenn just playing in our face, y'all. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. Listen, y'all meet me for Put a Ring on It, because that review will be coming up shortly, okay? So I want y'all to make sure that you leave this one and go on over to that one. And if it ain't ready, just wait for it. Just wait for it, because it's coming. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.